Hello everyone, welcome to my first video on this channel. In today's educational video, we are going to study one of the most emotional and meaningful chapter from class 12 Flamingo. The chapter is The Last Lesson and is written by Alphonse Daudet. Dear student, this lesson highlights the importance of language, the pain of losing one's freedom, and the value of education. Through the story of French, little children, villagers, and their dedicated teacher, Mr. M. Hamel, we learn how people only realize the worth of something when it is about to be taken away. In this video, I will explain the chapter in a very simple way, discuss the background of Franco-Prussian War, the key characters, important theme, and all the exam relevant question. So stay with me till the end and let us begin our journey into this beautiful and powerful chapter, the last lesson. Before starting the topic, let us know something about the author. Alphonse Daudet was a French and the short story writer. He was born on 13th May 1840 in Nimes, France. He was died on 16th December 1897 in Paris. The father, Vincent Daudet, was a silk manufacturer, a man dragged through life by misfortune and failure. Alphonse, amid much travesty, had a depressing boyhood. In 1856, he left Lyon, where his school days had been mainly spent. He began his career as a school teacher at Alès Gare in the South France. He was the father of writers Leo Daudet and Lucien. Let us have the brief introduction about the topic. The last lesson is set in the days of the Franco-Prussian War, in which France was defeated by Prussia, led by the Bismarck. In this story, the French districts of Alsace and Lorraine have passed into Prussians' hand. The French teachers were ordered to leave. The story revolved around Mr. M. Hamel, who had been asked to leave. Before he left, he gave a last lesson to his student, the lesson of the life. Let us discuss the message of that chapter. This chapter, dear student, highlights the importance of mother tongue. The last lesson brings out the ideas that one should not neglect the learning of one's mother tongue. It is through mother tongue that we can preserve our identity, culture, and even freedom. This as realized by Franz when he attained his last class of French. As long as the people hold fast to their language, it as if they had the key to their prison. Let us have a brief summary of the chapter. In the very beginning of this chapter, the narrator, French, was going to school and he was very much afraid. Here we have the question, why was French afraid? The answer is very simple. French was afraid because M. Hamel, who had been very strict teacher, has informed a student and asked a student to learn The rules of participle. What French, the narrator of the chapter, didn't learn the rules of participle. For a while, he thought of running away and spend his time outside of his school. But he registered and hurried off to school. Now French reached to the town hall. A town hall is a place where the newses were displayed on a bulletin board. As he passed the town hall, he saw that there was a huge crowd in front of bulletin board because for many days this board has been conveying all the bad news related to lost battles, drafts, etc. That is why French was bit afraid and was surprised that what might be the reason of this crowd right now. What bad news might have been there? He was thinking all about it and continued to his school. Now, as French reached to the school, he observed that there is something unusual that day. And what was unusual? Here might be asked a question in board examination too. That what unusual things does the French notice? The answer is very simple. The usual whistling missing at the school. Everything was quiet and still, like the Sunday mornings. Through the window, little French saw his classmates and M. Hamel with his ruler. As I have earlier mentioned, my dear students, that Mr. M. Hamel had been a very strict and kind of cranky teacher. What here French noticed that there is something change in Mr. M. Hamel's behavior. He was expecting that his teacher, Mr. M. Hamel, would scold him. What? Nothing happened. Mr. M. Hamel didn't say anything to French for coming late. He only asked little French to occupy his seat in a very kind voice. When French comfortably seated on his chair, he see that Mr. M. Hamel wore a beautiful green coat, frilled shirt, and a black silk cap. And this was also surprising for him because Mr. M. Hamel wore such uniform only the days of inspection. He also observed some peculiar things about the classroom as the last benches were occupied by the blazer which had been and which used to be empty earlier. The blaze people were sitting on the last benches Olhauser, the former mayor, and the former postmaster, and several others were looking sad. M. Hammel's surprising remark. Suddenly, Mr. M. Hamel announced that it was their last French lesson. The question might be asked here, my dear students, why did M. Hamel announce that it was their last lesson? It was just because of the order which had come from Berlin to teach only German language. Now, as soon as French heard these words, like it is his last lesson of French language, he was very upset. He started feeling sorry for not learning lessons. He was sad that M. Hamel was leaving. And this announcement made him forget all about the cranky nature of Mr. M. Hamel and his terrible ruler. Suddenly, the books that seemed to be nuisance for him started looking like his old friends. When he was thinking all about this, suddenly he heard his name announced. Now it was his turn to recite the rules for participle. What, as I have mentioned earlier, my dear friends, that little French didn't learn the rules for participle. That is why he got mixed up at the very first sentence and started feeling sorry. He was expecting a scold from Mr. M. Hamel, but nothing happened. M. Hamel didn't scold him. Here we have M. Hamel's view. After that, M. Hamel announced and told the students that we, people of French, pretend to be the Frenchmen, can neither speak nor write French language. Why it had happened? Just because the parents of students were not anxious enough for their children to learn, they prefer them to work and grow more money. He also criticized himself for sending out children to water his flowers. Then he told the students about the beauty of French language. He called French the most beautiful, the clearest, and the most logical language. After that, Mr. M. Hamel gave a lecture on grammar. After grammar, the student had a writing lesson. The day was, as I have mentioned earlier, was bit different than other days because on that day everyone was engaged in his work quietly. Once some beetles flew in, but no one paid any attention to the beetles. And surprisingly, Each of them understood the lesson. In the end, Mr. M. Hamel told everyone to remember French. Now it was the time for the farewell. As the lesson was over, and as soon as the church clock struck 12, trumpets of Persians were heard. Mr. M. Hamel grew emotional. He picked up a chalk and wrote on the word, and Vive la France, which means long live France. And then he said everyone to leave. This is our chapter. Hope you did enjoy it and understand this chapter completely. Let us meet with a new topic another day. Take care of you. God bless you. Thank you.